Good morning, folks. Welcome to Bullets and Brass. We're doing 270, or sorry, not 270. It is 270, but it isn't. We're doing 6.8 Western, which is probably the newest hunting cartridge to hit the market. Browning and Winchester cooperate on this, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It is a 270 caliber, 277 to be exact, designed for Western use. Out west, you get much longer ranges. Very often, you're shooting where there's no cover. You've got a spot you can sit, or you've managed to stalk within a few hundred yards, and you're not getting any closer. It isn't like over here in the East Coast where you might be at 25 yards. 200 or 300 might be your shot, and maybe even longer. So a lot of people out there use bigger rounds. They use things. It's one of the things 6.5 Creedmoor is used for. You see a lot of 270 Winchester, 270 Winchester Short Magnum, 6.5 PRC. You use rounds that are holding their energy further out, 30-06, to use a traditional one. Things that, as the range opens up, you still have enough retained energy to get the job done. Now, why a new one? Well, let's run through it. Let's talk about what it is and what it isn't and why they created it. First, it is basically a 270 Winchester Short Magnum, not a 270 Winchester. 270 Winchester is a long action round. 270 Winchester Short Magnum, as the name describes, is a short action round. 270 WSM was one of the early ones. And things have changed since then. We have gone to different bullet designs, much longer bullets, higher BC, heavier bullets. Now, they require faster twist barrels. How do you do that? Because you can't, if you change the whole cartridge around inside a current existing one, older guns can't use the new ammo. Things suddenly don't fit. Do you just have the bullet sticking out that much further? Is it shoved that much further in the case? It doesn't really work great. So what they did is they shortened the case even more. So you've already gone from a 270 to a 270 short magnum to even shorter. Now, not a huge shorten, but I mean they shaved. It's noticeable when you look at the two. It's noticeable. And then they put an even bigger bullet, not fatter, longer. 165 grain. 143 is kind of the light side. 175. I've even heard as high as like in the 190s. They retain their energy much better. So you got the same pressure, same starting pressure. 65,000 psi is kind of the SAMI spec for the whole set. But you've got a higher BC bullet that's also heavier. So, because remember, there's different calibers in here. So when I make statements like that, keep in mind we're not always talking 270. There's also some 6.5s in there, some 30 calibers. I mean, it gets weird. So you're doing a bullet that is longer, heavier, and has just as much energy behind it, just as much push. The result is a really good long range round for hunting. 6.5 Creedmoor has a particular energy range. This basically takes that and extends it, where 6.5 is good to say 400 yards on a whitetail. And do whatever you want. We're using that as a number. You're going to get the same energy significantly further out with 6.8 Western at the penalty of a longer round. So here's where it gets interesting. It doesn't fit in the popular box magazine systems. It doesn't fit in an AICS magazine. It doesn't fit in a standard PMag, long range, short range magazine. You know, the ones for SR-25 size rifles. It doesn't fit in those. It's too long. The case diameter is too fat. It just is not the right thing. It isn't a 308 derivative. Now, What does that mean for the market? I think it means we're not going to see the mass adoption we got with 6.5 Creedmoor. I think this is going to be a very popular but slower adoption round. You're going to see it in exactly what is currently offered in Browning A and X bolts, Winchester Model 70s. I'm sure Remington and Ruger will put out equivalent rifles, but you won't see a Ruger American with that box magazine. You won't see a Remington with that box magazine. They're going to be internal magazine or some form of proprietary magazine. Or they're going to have to do a long action removable magazine system. They're out there. They're not as common, but they're out there. But that's much less popular than that short action system. Do I think that's a flaw? Not really. I think it's just a limitation because they couldn't make it any shorter. They couldn't change the diameter. You had to have what you've got in order to get something more. For comparison here, and it's a rough comparison for 6.5. 6.8 Western's driving the 143 grain ELDX bullet at 3,200 feet per second. The ELDX Precision Hunter 6.5 Creedmoor load is 2,700 feet per second. Now that's up at the muzzle. That's not downrange. Huge, right? I mean, that's 500 feet per second more. And that's the light end of the 6.8, the heavy end of the 6.5. The 6.8, you can jack that weight up, get an even longer bullet with a great BC, drive it almost as fast, and hit like a ton of bricks at the far end. If you would use a 270 Winchester, a 30-06, anything like that, the 6.8 Western is now the better choice if you're starting fresh. I don't think and I'm switching pages on my notes here. I don't think this is a miracle round that is going to have that crazy adoption that the 6.5 did. The 6.5 Creedmoor really, it hit a sweet spot, and between the marketing, the sizing, the ability to fit in particular rifles, it was overwhelming. That is not what's going to happen here. I think that if you already own a 270 Winchester that you like, a 270 Winchester short magnum you like, a 6.5 PRC, even a 308 or a 30-06 that you really like, and it fills that role for you. This is not a rifle you would run out and buy because it's so much better. This is the rifle you buy because you want a new one. You don't own one already, or you're just shopping for a new rifle. And that's the role you see for it. You're not looking for a pure coyote gun. You're not looking for an end of the world gun. You're not looking for a brush hog gun. You're looking for a Western style hunting rifle. And that's what the rifles are going to be about. I think we're going to see it primarily in very traditional looking rifles. I don't think you're going to see it in very many tactical rifles. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of chassis system rifles. I'm sure they'll be out there, but I think you're going to see it in a whole lot of traditional Brownings and Winchesters, and probably Remingtons and Rugers soon enough. And I think that's the audience they're going after, and the role they're going after. And I think they'll be successful. I don't think that you're going to convince people that it is so much better that they need to go out and sell their equivalent rifle in 270 Winchester or short magnum, or any of the similar. I mean, even a 300 Win Mag, to be honest, because a lot of people use 300 Win Mag in this category because they wanted short action and they wanted something more than 308. They wanted some more reach with good enough impact. They didn't necessarily need everything the Win Mag offered, but they just wanted more than they already had. I think that you're going to have a tough time convincing people to replace those rifles if they weren't already in the market. But don't count it out. I think that you are going to see it adopted. more and more. I think 10 years from now, it will still be going strong. I think that it is a round that is going to speak to people my generation and newer who are looking for a rifle in that category and are not concerned with the legacy. We don't care that this is the traditional round and it works and it's been that way for 50 years. We look at it and we go, there's newer and better. And it's newer and better. It's just that the end result on target is not drastically better. But yeah, higher BC with a faster twist on a shorter round is better. I have a lot of faith. I think it is a good round. Let me know what you think. Put it in the comments below. Welcome to all the new subscribers. If you hung around this long, guys, we had a nice little jump recently. It's nice to have you here. I think we're going to continue to see some good content. I am very busy with other stuff right now, so it's tough to get out and do some serious content. It is also cold. We did have a warming trend, and it doesn't seem like it held. But it will get warmer, and I will get some more time outside to do actual range videos. So, take care, have fun, stay safe, y'all, and keep shooting. Say hi.